Greetings, live from the Steamy Verse. We are here at the Craft House. It is a local Las Vegas brewery, and we just left the winery, had an amazing time there, and now we're here at the brewery, and we actually have 3 different taster sets from 3 different badasses. And I've chosen the all dark beers. I've chosen every one. I've got a Bellegarde here. I've got the Double Time here. I've got the Comrade here, and I've got the Coffee Comrade on Nitro here. So I'm super excited about these. I really love dark beers. So that was my choices here for today, and I'm gonna do a little review on these beers. And I'd just like to give out a little shout out to this beer house here, because they're one of the only truly all vegan breweries that I've ever heard of. And the reason why is because you're like, oh well, all beer is vegan, it's not like you put milk or beef in beer, right? So how is it not vegan? Well, most breweries are using non-vegan chemicals and cleaning agents in the process of their making of the beer. So even though it's not actually an ingredient in the beer, the brewery itself is non-vegan. So this is an actual 100% all vegan brewery. They don't use any products of any kind that are non-vegan, which is a really big deal, which deserves a lot of respect and gratitude there. So that shout out is done. Now let's get to the beer. So first we have here a Belgrade Stout, which is 5.2% ABV, which means alcohol by volume. So it's really not that strong. A luscious dark chocolate malt backbone married with locally roasted cold brew coffee from Vesta Coffee Roasters. So not only does this have alcohol, but it has caffeine as well. It's like your Red Bull and vodka in one, So as soon as you smell it, you can smell it smells like coffee. It almost smells like it's a cup of coffee. It's pretty good. It's definitely a coffee stout. Got a very high coffee. That's the number one flavor, is the coffee for sure. But as you drink it, you can tell it's a beer. So it's like an alcoholic coffee. Very nice. I like it. This is the Double Time, which is 7.1 ABV. So if you're gonna order a beer and you want more for your money, this one's a step up just in that regard. A traditional Trappist style ale. So this isn't a stout, this is an ale, it's just a dark ale. Double Time is an interplay with rich toasted malts, deep dried fruit sweetness, and spicy clove fragrance. Better pick up the pace. Double Time. Oh man. Alright, so this smells totally different. I don't smell any coffee. I do smell sweetness. It definitely has a sweet tone to it. Oh man. I like this one way better, to be honest. Number one, it's got 2% higher alcohol, which I like. Number two, it's got this really nice sweetness to it, and sweetness in a beer is sort of a very fine thing to do, because sweet beers are kind of weird a lot of times, but this is really dark and rich, but it's also got this really nice sweetness to it. And it's a high alcohol content, which is amazing, because generally speaking, the higher alcohol, the less sweet it is, because those alcohols consume or are consuming all the sugar. This is really nice. I'm gonna must say that's almost a perfect beer in my mind. Okay, so the bar is set high with 2 more left. Now we have the Comrade. This is a Russian Imperial Stout, and this is 10.2 ABV. So that's already a little notch in the book right there. This year's Comrade is a smooth, luscious affair. A mix of roasted malts, Dutch cocoa, and coffee bean jump out of the glass as it warms faint hints of baking. A homey beer with lots of alcohol. For that risque housewife. I'll take one. I'll take one risque housewife and a beer, please. Okay, so this one is actually by far the lightest, and it's also the highest. And it's not the highest alcohol; it's tied with the highest alcohol. So this one says it's a stout versus an ale. This one seemed more like a stout, and this one actually seems more like an ale. This one's really nice. The fact that it's 10.2 compared to the 7.1, I would kind of say I might like this one a little bit more. The flavor is really nice. Both of these flavors are really nice. They're actually pretty similar. This one's lighter. So if you like the richer, sort of creamier, smoother flavor, they're very similar in flavor, but this is like richer and smoother. This one's got a similar flavor, but it's a little bit lighter, but more alcohol, which is a win in my book. Okay, so far so good. We bring us to the final Coffee Comrade on Nitro. And so the head is actually it's quite a bit down from what it was a couple minutes ago because we've been setting up the video and all that. But you're never really going to get these big, rich heads unless you have nitrogen pores. So this has a nitrogen pore, which is a nitrogen gas in the actual tap itself, which gives it that really rich, creamy thing, which Guinness is known for. And that's what makes Guinness, this beer that people love, because it's so rich and so creamy because of the nitrogen pore. I've actually been to the original Guinness Brewery in Ireland, and I've also been to the new Sky Tower Guinness Brewery in Ireland. Fantastic experience. Really an amazing thing. And actually Guinness, this is a fantastic story. He was a super brilliant businessman, and not only did he make great beer, but he was really a pioneer in the whole beer industry. It was Guinness that actually first started doing international shipping of beer. Big story there. You should totally check it out. Guinness is pretty fantastic, but I have a feeling this is going to be better. So this is the Coffee Comrade Nitro. This decadently decadent coffee is served the way it should be on Nitro. Pour. Vesta Coffee Roasters, same thing. So this is actually similar to this, apparently, except for this has twice the amount of alcohol at 10.2 versus 5.2, and it's got the nitrogen pour. Smells like coffee. Oh my God. This one's way better than this one. And in fact, it's twice the amount of alcohol, but it tastes smoother and it tastes sweeter. And that nitrogen pour makes it so creamy. Like my first reaction was like, wow, this is like a really high quality latte in Italy. Like it tastes just like coffee with cream in it. But it's totally vegan. There's no cream. There is coffee. It's got a nice little sweetness to it. It's got more of a sweetness than this one had. This one was more like, just like coffee. This is like coffee with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cream. Pretty hard to beat this, honestly. Luckily, I think IJ ordered one of these as well so that he can wet his whistle with some of this deliciousness. So, that wraps it up here. Thankfully, I've still got quite a bit of beer to drink. I got friends here that are waiting for their turn, representing Steam at all times. As always, from the Steamyverse, Steam on and bless.
Well, I have a pig. Well, you have that growth. How do you like that nitro?